With my channel just now reaching 700 subs thanks to the great usage of Twitter, I really appreciate that goal getting reached last week. It's awesome. I love seeing a new milestone in my channel. But with that being said, I figured I want to talk about one of the movies that is included in the usage of masterpiece. I will say that again. I think this movie is a masterpiece in filmmaking, and it's probably one of the most underrated. Boogie Nights stars Mark Wahlberg, Julianne Moore, Burt Reynolds, and John C. Reilly. It is about back when sex was safe, pleasure was a business, and business was booming. An idealistic porn producer aspires to elevate his craft to an art when he discovers a hot young talent. When people usually do their top 10 favorite movies of all time or call movie masterpieces, I never hear about Boogie Nights from usually anyone. Like, honestly, if you're out there, comment below, because I never hear you guys, but I always try to bring it up because Boogie Nights is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a movie, when I first saw it, I fell in love with it. It was also a movie when I first saw, I wasn't supposed to watch it. I'm pretty sure I was late at night, a young little kid, going through the channels trying to find something I wasn't supposed to watch, and I came across this movie thinking it was a movie or a type of show I was not supposed to watch. And I was enjoying it, and then I was like, man, this movie's actually pretty good. And it was also like almost 3 hours long, and I instantly fell in love with the universe in this movie. When I grew up and I saw it again, I absolutely just fell in love with what Paul Thomas Anderson did with the script, the cinematography. I mean, this movie is almost perfect. Now, the movie is about the famous porn star John Holmes, aka Dirk Diggler, in this movie, who is played by Mark Wahlberg. I mean, first off, can I just say, Mark Wahlberg, like, Leo was supposed to get this role, and then Mark Wahlberg was like, hey, I'm gonna do it, and so he did it. And his progression in this movie is outstanding. To me, this is his best performance of his entire career. I know a lot of people might say Departed and stuff like that. To me, it's Boogie Nights. It's not even close. When you see this guy in the beginning of this movie, a young kid, and his acting ability as a young, kind of dumb kid is so perfect. And from the very last shot of this movie, he's a grown man dealing with certain things that just happened to him as a character. And his acting ability throughout the entire movie, the progression of this character is perfect. Mark Wahlberg is perfect in this role. He is outstandingly just hilarious, dramatic. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him in this performance. All the actors in this movie, like everyone, if you look up history about this movie, half these actors didn't want to do this movie. It was supposed to be like Drew Barrymore. I'm pretty sure Burt Reynolds wasn't supposed to be Burt Reynolds. It was going to be like someone else famous. Like, it was a ton of famous people not supposed to be in this movie, and it turned out to be this cast. And this cast is perfect. Besides Mark Wahlberg, I mean, Oscar-nominated Julianne Moore and Burt Reynolds are perfect in this movie. They are mother and father figures to Mark Wahlberg and Roller Skate Girl. It is amazing dynamic in this movie. A movie that looks like just a porno. A movie with a bunch of sex and everything, and that's what you expect. You get that stuff. It's, you know, boobies, sex, nudity. If you like it, you're going to enjoy it. But besides that, this movie is morely about family. The dysfunctional family that they go through, how none of these people are really related, but they live in the same house, and they're shooting porn while doing it, and they're really good at it. And then it goes through decades and chapters of their lives, the 70s, the 80s, just how the script is just put together is perfect in this movie, and I love every single person. And don't get me started on John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly, I mean, the man is always referenced to Talladega Nights, Step Brothers. He is a good actor. Like, oh my gosh, John C. Reilly, I'm pretty sure he was nominated for an Oscar at some point, but he's a great actor. Aviator, Boogie Nights, I mean, he has done dramatic stuff. In this movie, he is perfect comedic humor, and he has his own character development throughout the entire movie. And the cast goes on and on and on. Don Cheadle, the late and great Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mean, this movie has a cast, and like I said, the script by Paul Thomas Anderson is perfect. The dialogue is very good. I mean, the movie has tonal shifts that work. This is a dark story, but overall, It's a funny as hell kind of movie. It is so funny. I mean, just talking about Mark Wahlberg, like I said, you got the touch, you got the power. Like, that alone is hilarious to me. They're doing Transformers, and he's high on cocaine or whatever he's on, and he's fucked up. And that's the development of this movie. That's why the script is so good. He starts off like a young, just little kid, not little kid, but a young kid, and he develops into literally a drug addicted and goes through some dark shit. And that part of the movie is when it gets really good to me. Certain scenes in this movie stand out to me. I mean, for crying out loud, William H. Macy, the one take shot, it's like a 3-minute take, I'm pretty sure, of the final night of the 70s, and it's like, it is a perfect shot. It is so good. Him walking through the house, him going into the room, seeing his wife, you know, do the business, goes out to his car, same shot, goes back in the house, kills them, and shoots himself in the head. It's perfect. It is a perfect scene. It's perfectly shot. It's perfectly edited. I love the direction of the cinematography. It is perfect. There are so many takes that go through the house, showing each character in their moment, what they're doing, how everything's going, affecting their life, because each scene builds off of another, and it's so perfect. Now, truly, the most famous scene in this movie, to a lot of people who have seen it, and it is for sure my favorite scene, top 10 scenes of all time, if you honestly want me to say it. The drug deal scene, I mean, wow. First off, like I said, Mark Wahlberg, the shot where it goes on him for like 45 seconds of him realizing, oh fuck, I fucked up. When he's sitting there and he's realizing, it's just a shot of him staring at nothing. And he does so much with his face. That is acting right there. That is pure great acting. John C. Reilly, Thomas Jane. I mean, Thomas Jane is a tiny role. He's another famous porn star in this movie, but he's a drug addict. And when they go to this scene, I mean, my gosh, Sister Christian song, after this movie, you can never hear that movie or that song ever again without thinking about this scene. At least for me. I hear that, and I instantly think of the drug deal scene with Dr. Octopus actor walking around singing Sister Christian and then throwing firecrackers, like, adding that tension of someone might be pulling a gun and shooting at them. It's perfectly made in the tension building, and with the song editing, oh my gosh, I mean, the song, the drums beating up, and him rocking out, and everyone's walking around, and there's so much going on in this one scene. It's adding that intention of just pure detail of, this is a chaotic scene with not much going on. That is so perfect. And then you get the song Jesse's Girl, which is another song that I really like, but when I think of that song, I think of this scene. It is just, the tension, the rock to the music. Throughout the entire movie, the music, I mean, honestly, arguably top 10 music in a movie ever. Album for a movie. The album of this movie is so good. The music, it's honest, if you ask me, I think it rivals Pulp Fiction. It rivals Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a great soundtrack. The music is perfectly edited into the background. Like I said, the drug deal scene with Jesse's Girl and Sister Christian, how they mesh together, and when Thomas Jane has his little monologue.
Let's just spit right now. This was not the thing. This was not supposed to be the thing, God. That's what a goddamn team here motherfucking do. And that's what I fucking do, right? Fuck no.
In that one little scene where he's like, I'm gonna go in that fucking room with a goddamn bed, with a goddamn safe under the goddamn bed. Like, I mean, it's perfect. It's perfectly acting. It's a top 10 scene of all time. If you've never seen the drug deal scene from Boogie Nights, watch it. But I recommend watching the movie. Overall, I could talk about this movie just all day long. Boogie Nights is a perfect movie in my opinion. It has some of the best acting ever from this entire great cast. Like I said, Mark Wahlberg, Burt Reynolds, Julianne Moore, Don Cheadle, John C. Reilly, Philip Seymour Hoffman, William H. Macy. I mean, there is so many people in this movie, and it's just everyone gets their moment to shine. Everyone. I mean, there's so much stuff I didn't even talk about. The scene where obviously Mark Wahlberg's trying to blow off a guy for money, Don Cheadle technically robbing a store after a gunshot to the face. I mean, there's so much shit that happens in this movie, and it all just flows perfectly well to a 2 hour and 35 minute movie, which a lot of people do say it's too long. I actually understand that, but for me, the pacing is perfect. The movie's hilarious. The movie has great dramatic, just tension. And like I said, the drug deal scene alone to me is worth watching this movie. I do say, I don't say it as much as I want to, but this movie is a masterpiece. I think it's underrated. I don't think people talk about it as enough. So I hope this video helps. If you've never seen Boogie Nights, please go out there and find it. Please go out and watch it. It is a masterpiece in all ways of filmmaking. I will give Boogie Nights an A+. I wish I looked up where you can watch it, but I do know it's on Blu-ray. I have it on Blu-ray. It's a perfect movie, guys, honestly. If you've not seen it, just watch it. Please, leave a comment down below if you've seen it. Everyone who I've talked to has seen it, really likes this movie. So again, if you've seen it, good job, because it's a good one. Anyway, guys, you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you once again so much to 700. I cannot wait for the day I hit 1,000. That is going to be a great day. I can't wait. We're gonna get there. I'm in no rush. If you want to subscribe, go right ahead. I appreciate it so much. Anyway, guys, you guys enjoyed this movie review, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.